So get to the replay that you said you did not agree with in terms of the overturn. What do you got for me there, Mike?
Yeah, the Devontae Smith play, the catch that he gets 2 feet down, gets control, gets 2 feet down, goes to the ground, ball hits the ground. But the question was, did he lose possession? Not did the ball move, did he lose possession? And, Rich, and you know this, I've said it before, I feel like replay has gotten too technical. And if you have to look at something for as long as they looked at that, I mean, let's forget about just the time frame of when they actually stopped it to review it. I mean, they were looking at it right off the bat, right when the play ended, as was I. And, and I looked at it and said, close play. Did he lose? No, it moved. Did he lose possession? Maybe. But we spent 4 minutes and then concluded that we're going to reverse the call. I think that in some respects we're just losing what the original plan for replay was to correct at the initial, when we first put it in, it was called indisputable visual evidence. Then it changed recently to clear and obvious. Well, it's not clear and obvious if all of us in the booth thought that it was going to stay as a catch. And when you have to go 4 minutes to review it and then change it, then I think replay is going beyond what it should be. And I've had this conversation with the competition committee and Rich McKay, how at times we just get so stinking technical when it comes to replay. You cannot go into it with a neutral mind. You have to go into it saying the ruling on the field was this, and you have to prove beyond any shadow of a doubt, which is what the college rule book says, that the call was incomplete. And I just don't think that was the case. The others were good. I mean, the sideline catch that, the left toe was still down when he got possession, that was good.
Yep.
The ruling of catch fumble and picked up and the Chiefs return it for a touchdown, that was incomplete. He didn't get an additional step down. Those were all good, but I think they got really technical in that one play with Devontae Smith.
Yeah, and the one again that started the second half for the Eagles, where it was initially ruled catch, fumble, touchdown. That was I thought that was perfectly officiated, Mike, because I'm glad they didn't blow the whistle. I want everything played out.
Exactly.
And I know that when you play it out, you do run the risk of somebody getting hurt in a play that's going to eventually be overturned. But let it play out. You do have the backstop of replay. Go for it. They did it. They got it right. I agree with you. The Devontae Smith one, I think we're seeing a lot of if a ball rolls over, okay, when somebody's got a clear catch, by that I mean a clear clutch of the football and 2 feet down, and they're going down to the ground and now must survive the ground. We're now seeing just if the ground causes the ball to just shift in somebody's hand at all, and then it's possible that the point of the ball or any part of the oval of the ball rubs along the ground as it's shifting in their hands. That's now an incomplete pass, and I'm wondering, how do you fix that? That's the issue.
Well, the thing is, I don't think you need to fix it. I mean, the thing is, in replay, only correct the obvious mistake. And though I think that the catch thing to me has gotten much clearer when you're talking about a receiver on his feet. So like you talked about at the beginning of the second half, that was a receiver on his feet. He got control. He got 2 feet down, but then he didn't get the additional step, didn't have that element of time. So that's clear. That was easy. That was even easy for me, which is unbelievable. But on the one going to the ground, then the issue opens up about the ball moving versus the receiver losing possession. And, and so to me, you can't nitpick it. I mean, if they had ruled that pass incomplete, you stay with incomplete. I mean, there wouldn't have been enough to reverse it to a catch, in my opinion. And I say the same way. So, again, we get this notion of replay trying to, correct everything, which got everybody in trouble in the Kansas City-Cincinnati game when we had basically a do-over. And then you get this to where, to me, 7 people, which is basically what they had inside the replay booth, which was located, all the New York crew, They brought all their equipment from New York to Glendale, and they were set up in the back of the replay booth. So you had 7 people in the replay booth all looking at it, and probably some in disagreement, which is why it took 4 minutes. So if there's any disagreement at all, just stay with what is called on the field. I think that's the safest and most logical and the intended way that replay is to be used.
But I mean, that does need fixing, Mike. If just a shifting in the hand, but doesn't really lose possession, is now considered an incomplete pass, that means somebody's got to get in a room in the competition committee and make some sort of codification in the same way that fixed the catch rule for, as we mentioned, the Miles Sanders incompletion that was eventually ruled. That you need to do that. You need to say I don't know, that somehow shifting of the football does not mean it's incomplete if it didn't leave their hands,
Yeah, in the book already it says movement. Movement does not necessarily mean the pass is incomplete. It says that. It says that it has to be loss of control, loss of possession. So that means hands clearly coming off the ball, So it's actually codified to a degree that I think can be used to address the play like, we had yesterday. So, I just think, again, God dang it, sometimes we just have to use common sense and not try to nitpick things when it comes to replay, which I just think we've had a tendency to do. I actually think that we've gotten to the point now where I don't know when the next opening is for the head of officiating, but forget your rule change proposals.
Yes.
I think it's time for you to go into the administration in New York and take over maybe the position of head of officiating.
Yeah.
I mean, you might make a lot of progress then.
You know what? You just got to get me in the competition committee room, but you knew that already. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.